It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Indianapolis Colts. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
Ready, set.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
These two teams, the Eagles and Colts, the two best rushing teams in the NFL in 2021 a season ago. The Eagles, maybe a surprise to many that they were #1 last year. Of course, they got a lot of rushing yards from their quarterback that helped them. And the Colts, with Jonathan Taylor, they were #2.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Check pass, check pass.
A give, it's Jacobs off the option. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Hurts sets up to throw it. Got a man, that's Colin Johnson. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Here's Aaron Sipas now. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Back to Taylor on 1st down. And the tackle there by C.J. Gardner-Johnson. The Colts at 9-1 on the year. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
And partner, to me, this is a team that no matter what the matchup, they're up for the fight. They are really suited for the postseason the way they're playing right now. And I would not want to face them come playoff time.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Ryan. Looking to start for runs, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
Well, really a fantastic play, not only to pick that off, but he had to run a long way, Charles, in the other direction to hit pay dirt. He did it, and they've got the first lead.
And that certainly changes the early tone of this game, doesn't it, partner? One moment, they were going to be in early control. Now they just have a few moments to clear their heads and get back out there against an electrified defense.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the #1 goal? Make the playoffs. #2, win your division. #3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the #1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
Now Ryan on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Here's Ryan. Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run once more with Taylor.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Play action. It's Ryan. And he's got Pierce. Touchdown. Alec Pierce with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Ready.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
Oh, you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Hurts to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 11 yards for number 11.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. This defense for the Colts, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Okay,
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Going for the deep ball. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be A terrific final act to this first quarter.
They'll run here with Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts have moved out in front. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one.
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe you give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Once again, it's Jacobs. And some space here. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he gets it to the Colts' 27-yard line.
57 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really hurt them the other way, getting past that first wave.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14.
Throwing is Hurts.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
Hurts.
Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They run behind center with Gainwell.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Yannick Ngakoue. Just as hard to say his name as he is to block. He's there in on the stop that time.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Hurts fumbles it, and the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This drive didn't end well, but if they can keep stringing these together, they'll like what they're doing. That was an 8-play drive before it ended in a fumble. So the takeaway's got to be doing what we want to do and doing it well. Just got to take care of the ball at the end.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Now their last 2 drives both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. So right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Play action, Ryan. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
When they needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Well, turnabout is fair play, I guess. They had a pick-6 against them earlier, and now this defense, Charles, they get a pick-6 of their own.
And for a moment, let's just set aside how it impacts the scoreboard, because how about the response? One defense gets the pick-6, the other comes back and matches it. These are two defenses that are planning on winning the game for their teams themselves.
From the 6. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Running left, Taylor. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Now it's Ryan. Dancing to his left. Touchdown, Colts. Jelani Woods from 19 yards away. And the Colts continue to pull away here in this first half. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And the lead is now 24. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hand.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he's got some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down.
And now a high kick trying to pin him back. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. On the handoff, Taylor. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. Pretty move. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Jacobs will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown, we saw the payoff, but of course that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They'll get this out quickly to Campbell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll try the left side with Taylor. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Taylor. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On third down, Ryan. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And it's taken in at the 9. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Jacobs. And taken down just shy of the 40.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll drop to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. On the move past the 40. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 33. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Go, Reed, go! 60
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And even 100 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And the catch made by Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Hurts. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Mustang 19. Tempo.
Out of the gun now on third down. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Yannick Ngakoue has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40, the 40-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Colts on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Ryan. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. That fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready?
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 135 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. Touchdown! Michael Pittman, 28 yards. And the Colts add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him with a great performance and how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a give to Jacobs running right. Taken down at the 42.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On second down, Jacobs. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
What an
advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 40. They give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants him to finish this one out.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Kenny Moore.
And the Colts are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 36-yard line.
Let's go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Okay, ready? Cup 19! Cup 19! Ready?
From the 39, Hurts. And my goodness, another interception. And the Colts are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And they will take a knee here.
Ready to wait!
And they take a knee. Well, Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance,